Hello, hello. Hey. Welcome, welcome, welcome. For those who have joined so far, can you guys hear me fine? Just let me know if you can hear me. Hello. Let me know if you guys can hear me just fine. Give me a thumbs up or something. I do see some emojis, so I guess y'all can hear me. All right. I am. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Our guest has arrived, so I will get started. I will definitely try to download the video, the live, and I will post a replay for you guys. So, welcome to When Friends Link Up, the live series. For those of you who have been following me, we've done this more so in COVID times, but I wanted to bring this back so that we can, get more connected since we're not all the way outside just yet. So, I wanted to bring the series back, talk to you guys more, and, just have a little kiki. So, today we're going to be talking about taxes. It's the beginning of the year, so I want to, just have the conversation because sometimes it's taboo in the entrepreneur community, in the Black community. So I want to just ease you guys into the new year with a conversation that needs to be had about your finances and things of that nature. So I will start the conversation off with welcoming you. I know this is When Friends Link Up. This is actually my aunt, so Aunt Lisa. Welcome to When Friends Link Up. Can you introduce yourself for
Thank
us?
you. Hi. Excuse me. Hi, my name is Lisa Darby, and I am the owner of LMD Bookkeeping and Taxes. And I do individual and business taxes all year. Yeah. And
And
a
when
little
she
bit of
says all
bookkeeping.
year, she means all year round. All right.
Yes.
So with Friends Link Up, we try to have the conversations that most people are afraid to have. We try to bridge the gap between the entrepreneur and the customer, and then we also just try to network to expand each other's reach. So this conversation about taxes, we're calling it the Tax Talk for the Girl Bosses. We're gonna give you some tips and tricks, and hopefully this eases you into the new year and your tax season. You ready, Alisa?
I am ready.
All right. So the first question I have for you is what documentation do we need to prepare for our taxes accurately?
So, if you're referring to small business owners
Mhm.
and all
Yeah.
taxpayers, you would definitely need all types of income, which would include a W 2, a 1099. There are so many different 1099s. So you have a 1099 NEC that, that would connect to a business owner who contracts with someone and they pay you. And so they report the income to
Okay.
you and the
Yeah.
IRS through a 1099 NEC or miscellaneous, and then you can have third party contractors. That's a 1099K. And then it depends specifically on what you do.
Okay.
And so any other documentation that you would need is so you might dabble in the stock
Hmm.
market. So you may receive a 1099B. Any income, any earned income that you receive, you would have to report. And that would help the preparer
Oh,
to better
okay.
prepare your taxes. I hope
Okay.
that
And
makes sense.
yeah, so also do you need ID? You need proof
Yeah,
of
so
anything?
for personal, right, personal information, you're going to need your name, your
Mm-hmm.
social, your birth date. So your social is connected to the IRS.
Mm-hmm.
So that has to be correct, especially if you have children. And I'm
Or
being specific when I say children because there's really no more
mm-hmm.
dependents with this tax reform that we're in.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah, yeah,
Okay. I
yeah.
hope you guys are taking notes because we're getting y'all
Right,
together for 2025.
right.
My
And then
next
some other
question
things I
is,
think, oh,
oh,
go ahead, go ahead.
go ahead, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, so you don't just, take in income, you also have
Hmm.
expenses. And so you would need all the receipts for those expenses. Or if you have a
Okay.
spreadsheet or if you use a specific software to just track everything.
Okay.
Things of that.
And there's a world of software that people can use like QuickBooks,
QuickBooks.
um,
You
Google
can use
Docs.
a Google Docs.
You
You
can
can
use so
use a
many different
plain
things.
spreadsheet.
Right.
Um, anything just to track it
Right.
and make sure you have the right numbers.
Exactly. That's why I wanted to say that because I think sometimes when people are like, "Oh my gosh, I got to write this down. Oh, I got to do this." Like you
Right.
can streamline it and make it easier for yourself by just
Exactly.
writing it down and keeping it in a book. If it's just that
Right.
simple, you can get a
Right.
book from the dollar store and write it down.
Exactly.
All right. So my next question is, do you offer services or guidance on how to better organize records for future filing? Because I know a lot
I
of people
do.
may have all their stuff all over the place and they don't know what to do.
So we already touched on a couple. So I
Hmm.
contract for Intuit, which
Hmm.
is QuickBooks. And QuickBooks, I recommend as the best software to kind of track what you're doing. You can
Hmm.
link it to your credit cards, you can link it to your bank accounts, and they'll just pull and capture that information. And if you have a chart of accounts, they'll actually put it where it's supposed to be
Hmm.
and quarterly give you reports like an income statement or a liability statement. And so all of those things are at your hand and they are comparable with Excel.
Okay.
So you could export them into an Excel spreadsheet
Okay.
and share it with any text preparer software. Yeah, you
Cool.
don't have to put it
Okay.
in manually, especially TurboTax. I don't want to, but QuickBooks
Yeah.
and TurboTax, they're
Yes.
in the same family.
Yes.
So it's easy, but they are comparable with any software that you want to
Gotcha.
use, accounting software. Yeah.
Okay. That's cool. You should definitely try to find an affiliate for them so you can get some money. I'm just saying.
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
Why not? Why not?
So my next question, I have my handy dandy notebook since we were talking about notebooks.
hmm
Um, are there any deductions or credits that I might be missing as a small business owner?
So that's specific too. It depends on what you're doing. So you have your expenses,
Mm-hmm.
right? So they are automatically a deduction for you.
Okay.
Um, other than that, it would depend. So you have mileage, which
Mm-hmm.
should be tracked during the year. You can have car repairs, but it would be mileage or actual expenses.
One or
You
the
can have
other.
right.
Okay.
You can have a home office, and a lot of people don't know that it's one or the other.
Okay.
So whatever software that you're using, they're going to pick the one that gives you the higher amount of the deduction. So if it's
Okay.
the mileage that's higher, they're going to take the mileage. Is if it's actual, and when I say actual, so I'm talking car insurance, car repairs, anything that has to do with your business
Mm-hmm.
use of the
Okay.
car, not your personal use of the car, but the
Right.
business use of the car.
So we can go
Yeah.
out to eat and have a meeting and we can track that.
Right. Right. So business meals, but it's different. My truck drivers get 100%, or
Mm-hmm.
they get half, but most other people, it's not the full amount. So
Okay.
yeah, that's another thing to know. So definitely save the receipts for that. And then you may have medical expenses.
Okay.
You may have advertising, and advertising could be on Facebook,
Right.
the amount you pay every month, or
Mm-hmm.
you may, like me with my business, I buy birthday cards. I send them out
Yes.
to my clients. That's advertisement. Welcome
Mm-hmm.
back, Merry Christmas, Happy New.
Yes.
Anything that you do to advertise you can write that off
Oh,
too. And I'm going
okay.
down the list. Any type of supplies, office expenses, equipment,
Mm-hmm.
licenses that you know,
I think
we
you mentioned
pay.
something like the cable bill for your Wi-Fi. You can do
Right.
that too.
Any
Mm-hmm.
utilities, your
Yeah.
cell phone, but business use.
Right.
So always, so you may have to split it.
Mm-hmm.
I normally I have two phones, so it's a little easier for me
For the
because I
track
only
it.
use that phone for
Correct.
right. But people who use just one phone, just split it,
Okay.
and have. And what was I gonna say? I said office expenses,
Mm-hmm.
depreciation. A lot of people don't realize that, and this is another either or. So
Okay.
if you take mileage, um, you may be able to depreciate your car
Okay.
for 5 to 7 years.
Okay.
So a lot of people don't know that.
Mm.
And then there's a
That's something
QBI.
new.
There's
Yeah.
yeah, not
No,
new. People just
to
don't.
me.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. They don't realize that they can do that, but you
Right.
can. Like I've
Okay.
already exceeded my 7 years. So yeah.
Wow.
But
Okay.
there's a lot of things that
I
you
hope you
could
guys
write
are,
off.
like I said, I hope you guys are taking notes. I hope you're learning something new today because I sure am. About to take.
I think a lot of people, I'm sorry, I think a lot of people also don't realize that rental is kind of like a small business. And
Mm.
so you may not use a Schedule C, which you use for small businesses, but
Mm-hmm.
rental income is similar. So, you can write off deductions like snow removal, lawn
Mm-hmm.
maintenance, any supplies, your
Okay.
mortgage interest, your
Oh wow.
taxes, and things like that. Yeah.
That is good information. If you guys are watching, give me a thumbs up and let me know if you guys are liking what you're learning here today. So we are linking y'all. We are plugging y'all in today, okay? My next question, actually, I think you kind of went over this. What vehicle or mileage expenses are eligible? So you already went over that question. Do you have any more
Right.
details to go into that, or?
No, just, do your research and see which one works
Okay.
best for you. I think
Right.
they increased the mileage
Okay.
um for 2024 taxes, which is, we're in 2025, but they're actually
Right.
2024 taxes, and based on your actual expenses,
Mm-hmm.
just
Okay.
to compare it.
Yeah. So should I consider quarterly estimated tax payments, or like how should I calculate that kind of stuff? Because
Well,
I know some
the soft
entrepreneurs do it quarterly, then some just do it once a year.
so the software will actually do it for you. At least
Okay.
my software does.
Okay.
And so they'll, like, when your preparer gives you a copy of your return, just remind them to include the quarterly payment
Mm-hmm.
section of it, and it'll break it down for you how
Okay.
much you should pay. So it's going to calculate your income and say, based on what you're bringing in every year, this
Mm-hmm.
is how much you should pay.
Okay. I'm really gonna look into the QuickBooks affiliate program because
Okay.
I think that's something big right there. I really do.
Right.
Um, so do you offer advice on retirement accounts for entrepreneurs? Because I think that's something we really don't even talk about. A lot of entrepreneurs are in the present, in the now, and how we're just trying to get the money now instead of planning for the future. And also, like for me, when I was working at a nursing home, let's say, they gave us a letter just telling us when we could retire. Mind you, this was, I want to say, like maybe 6 years ago for me. They told me I couldn't retire till I was 80 years old. I said, OMG, I need to get out of here and figure out something. But can you speak on retirement as far as like your experience with taxes and entrepreneurship?
Definitely. And that's actually another deduction.
Okay.
It's so especially for people who are single. So let me go
Mhm.
into a little bit of that. You know, there
Okay.
are about four, I want to say, to five filing statuses.
Mhm.
So single, head of household, married filing, jointly, married filing separately, and then we have one for
Okay.
widowers. And so singles, they get hit the worst as far as retirement
Mhm.
because they don't have anything to help them if they're not a business owner, if they don't
Mhm.
have kids,
Mhm.
if you know, if their kids are out of the
Mhm.
house, like how do I bring my tax liability back down?
Right.
And that would be with IRAs and 401ks if you don't have one through your job.
Mhm.
A lot. So this is a secret that Congress did for their friends. And a lot of people don't
Mhm.
know that. So, and this is probably for older people. So they have a traditional IRA. So there's a traditional IRA, there are
Mhm.
401ks, and then you
Mhm.
have then you have what we call Roth IRAs. So Roth
Okay.
IRAs are taxed initially when you get it. When you
Mhm.
have a 401k or a traditional IRA, your job, like you noted, is taking monies out of your check
Mhm.
every, well, whenever you get paid, right?
Right. To
And so
prepare you
that's
for it.
right. So
Mhm.
they're taking that money out before they take taxes.
Mhm.
So when you retire and you get that money, that's going to be
Right.
taxed. With a Roth IRA, it's a tax-free shelter. So
Okay.
the senators just found a
Mhm.
loophole. So what a lot of people are doing, and I'm actually doing, is that we're pulling money. So the government allows us, you know, depends on how old you are. If you're under 50, it's $6,000 for you and your spouse. And if you're over 50, it's 7,000. We can
Mhm.
pull that money out of our IRAs and we call it a backdoor
Mhm.
Roth and put it into a Roth. And
Okay.
so when we retire, it's
Tax
tax free.
free. That's actually really smart.
And a lot of people don't realize it because, you
Yeah.
know, Congress did it for their friends. And while it's still live,
Absolutely.
but to answer your questions, there are CDs
Mhm.
to help you retire. You
What are
know, you
CDs?
can, CDs are just certified deposits. And so
Okay.
you just put it could be as small as 500
Mhm.
and it'll just gain interest
Okay.
until you retire. So that's an
Nice.
extra way. Instead
Nice.
of putting it into a savings account,
Mhm.
you can put it in a CD or you can
Okay.
put it into an
Mhm.
IRA through a bank, right? And then
Right.
if you do that, the IRS say we will give you a deduction for that. So that's
Wow.
why
Okay.
I'm saying it's a smart way
Yeah.
instead of saying, okay, you know, I want to put $200 into a savings account every week,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
And it
Yeah.
builds up. You have $1,000 IRA, and then when you file your taxes, they'll give you a deduction from your
Right.
liability for that. So those are some of the ways to help with retirement. A
Okay.
plain old savings account is not going to do it. The
That's not gonna be
interest on
enough.
that is not
Yeah.
enough. So I would go with
Because they're
IRAs.
taking money out anyway. The banks
Right.
aren't they? Yeah.
Well, they're using it, your
Yeah.
money,
Mhm.
but they'll have it for you. And then,
Okay.
you know, will Social Security be here for everyone? So that's another
We won't
question
know.
people have to
Yeah.
ask themselves,
It's
you know.
definitely scary because you just don't like you really don't know what the future is gonna hold in certain scenarios.
Right.
Yeah.
And so there's all this talk, this new administration is talking about privatizing a lot of stuff. That's one of the things they want to privatize. So they're saying that we take control of the Social Security. We don't have to pay it anymore,
Mhm.
but we have to take control of our own retirement. And
Right.
so you got to think about, does that work for you? Are you disciplined
Right.
enough?
to
to
put that
do
around.
that.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
So, you
That's
just got to really
that's
think.
something.
Yeah.
Especially in our community, the conversations of finances is not always talked about. We're not really taught how to make our money work for us. So
No,
it's definitely something that we might have to come back and teach us some more stuff. So
definitely.
definitely, because I really want the community that I'm building here to flourish. Like there's money for all of us to be making. There's room for all of us to win. So I think having that conversation, I'm gonna put you on the calendar.
Right.
I'll schedule you.
Yeah, yeah, pushing entrepreneurship is one of my goals.
Yeah.
We need more worth. I mean,
Hmm.
our own worth with people of color, and getting a LLC is not that expensive. It's like
It's not.
127,000.
And
You
you
have to pay, a yearly fee to your state,
right.
but you could just register your company in Delaware. Delaware doesn't charge,
And
and
you
a
know
lot
what?
of
You know what
corporations
I'm
do
saying
that.
too? What I want to say too, even if entrepreneurship is not your thing, having another stream of income to just be
Definitely.
in place for your future is key. Like the way I just saw a post today that said New Jersey is actually one of the states that is lacking in finances for saving for the future. So
Mm.
we have to start talking about it now, and not just for us, but for our elders as well.
Definitely. And our children. I mean, you want to
Yes,
leave an inheritance, you
absolutely.
want to build something that they may take
Hmm.
over, they may want to go, but you just want them to have that cushion, you
Even
know.
if you just plant the seed and put the knowledge out there just to prepare them, because stuff is happening fast. Like 2024 went by so fast. We're gonna be out here walking with canes in a minute. So you gotta
Exactly.
be really mindful about this. And this is what I feel like my 2025 is, being more intentional with all aspects of my life, because the future is here. Is
The
really here.
future is here
Yeah.
because I often tell you, I remember when we were in the millennium
Hmm.
2000. It was the year 2000, and now it's 2025, and that went past super
Yeah, I was
fast.
having that conversation with my mom too. We were just like, are we really is my age the new adults? Like, what is happening here? It's so
Everything.
crazy.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
I want to open the floor for questions. I have one here in the comment section. Thank you all
Yes.
for commenting. And then I have two questions so far. So the first one is, can a 55 or older start one of those type of IRAs?
Right. So you can start one and you can do it online with them. So we're talking about the Roth IRAs.
Mm-hmm.
So it's called the backdoor IRA. Yes. And you just need a broker. You just need, someone that you trust because there's so many out there.
Yes.
And then you do it online and you just say, I want to start a Roth IRA, and they will ask you some questions. They'll ask you, what type of IRA, traditional IRA that you have, and then they'll pull it out, and then you'll get a 1099-R, and your preparer can do that backdoor Roth IRA for you.
And the
And,
key thing in this part too was, do your research on your preparers.
right.
Make sure you
Make
got the right
sure,
one.
exactly. Make sure that they see, I think what trips people up is because the software will do the
Hmm.
easy returns for you because they're just guiding you. So if you're entitled to something and you don't tell the software,
Okay.
they- they're not gonna.
It's not gonna populate it.
Right. So you need someone that knows tax law
Yes.
and what you can
You have
do and what
to
you're
train the
entitled
software to
to.
do what you needed to do,
Right.
basically. Okay.
Right.
That's like Chat GPT. You have to train it to fit your aesthetic, basically.
Right.
So that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. My other question here. let's see how this works. Oh, that was a question. Thank you, Reese Cup 4. Shout out to my mama. Do you got anybody else have any questions while we have Miss Lisa Darby here today? I see some thumbs up. Someone said this is good stuff. We got a hey.
Hey.
We got some waving hands and some smiley faces. Let us know if you guys have any more questions before I let her go for today.
Just know that you cannot file your taxes with your last pay stub. You need your
Oh,
W-2. A lot of people
yes.
think that you can, and you
Wait, did you say
also
buy your taxes?
no, you can't file your
Oh, file.
taxes
Okay.
with your last pay stub.
Gotcha.
You need a W-2 or 1099-R, and all businesses, institutions, banking institutions,
Mm-hmm.
everybody has up until January 31st to get any forms
Okay.
that you need. So if you don't get them with next week, don't be surprised because they have up until the 31st to send them to you.
Gotcha. All right. Well, it looks like we don't have any more questions. Do you have any more tips, advice that you'd like to share with the community?
I would say once you start receiving your forms, keep them in one place.
Okay.
If you are a small business owner, keep accurate tracking. Like, even if it's just a simple Excel spreadsheet, track it all through the year
Mm-hmm.
because auditing is real.
Yeah.
And if the IRS or your state, because some
Mm-hmm.
people forget about your state,
Mm-hmm.
feel that you're floating something or you're making numbers up, especially as a business owner, they're gonna question you,
Yeah.
and you're gonna be flagged, and you don't want to be flagged.
Right.
Yeah, so
Definitely. And you don't want to owe any money.
yeah, if you want to pay quarterly estimate taxes, yeah, that will help.
Okay. Yes. Someone said, yes, this conversation was very good and very knowledgeable. Thanks so much.
You are welcome.
Thank you for the comment. I appreciate that. So I will definitely be saving this live and I'm going to probably upload it to YouTube as well. That way we can reach more people because that is the point of when friends link up. I bring my friends, you bring yours, and we come together and just expand and grow together. So thank you, Miss Lisa Darby, my auntie,
You are
for
so
joining me
welcome.
and being the first installment of When Friends Link Up.
Yeah,
This means so
yeah.
much to me. Thank you all for watching. You all have a great night, but I always have to leave and say that you are the CEO of your life and it's time to boss up.
Hey,
Good night.
good night.